Thanks, Jim. Justin Stone here from EliteBaseball.tv. And we had an interesting question this week on our members portion of the EliteBaseball.tv site. And the parent showed a very, very high-end swing from a 9-year-old. You can tell that he loves baseball, he's worked on it a lot, and he plays a lot. The swing sequentially looked what I would see out of like a high school or a college kid coming in here. Lower body was leading and driving. He had a good, tight rotation, good barrel speed, and the ball was jumping off the bat. 9-year-old, of course, a lot of 9-year-olds aren't very big, but the ball was explosive from his 65-pound frame. And then he showed me a game video. And in the game video, the player slowed down rotation, got the bat to contact, and like many of us have seen with our youth players as a father, mother, or a coach, literally stopped the bat at contact. So in my mind, the player was more concerned about, hey, I want to make sure I'm making contact with this ball. I want to make sure I don't swing and miss, and that was the completion of the swing because that was the end of the goal. He'd made contact. We have seen this with every one of our youth players that has ever played the game at some point, where we get away from being explosive in a training setting and we get anxiety of, oh man, I want to make sure I make contact. I don't let my peers down. I don't let my dad down. I don't want to look foolish by swinging and missing. So the father asked, how can we overcome this problem that we've seen so many times happen with every player that has picked up a bat or a ball? And one of my head instructors had a great answer for this. Travis Kerber came in and said, get your son out with his friends on a field, just playing, and let him play. And what he meant by that is when you take away the pressure of whatever this young man was feeling, some sort of exterior influence on him, whether it's a coach that he's trying to please, mom and dad he's trying to please, looking good in front of his peers, or just the anxiety of competing and wanting to do a good job. And you take all that away and you let a kid be a kid and you play on the field and watch what happens. And the likelihood is he's going to get back into that training type swing where he's going to cut it loose, he's going to go through his full swing, and because there is no outside influence, pressure, or he's just playing, being a kid and having fun. So that's a good way to take away those fears that young players have when they're competing. We always think that we're doing this sort of training and it should show up and be the exact same way in a game. But a lot of times you don't have that same pressure in a training situation where they're comfortable, they're relaxed, and then of course in the game they're feeling anxiety and pressure. And we always say, hey, we're going to make sure we train at game speed. We want to do things the same way in practice as what we do in a game. And that just can't be replicated because you don't have the fear of failure, the anxiety and pressure that you're going to feel when you step into a batter's box and you're competing and people are in the stands. People are watching you. Baseball is a team sport. However, it's a one-on-one matchup. It's me versus the pitcher. Or in the pitching case, it's the pitcher versus the hitter. And there's people in the stands watching, there's people on the field watching, there's people in the dugout watching, and all those eyes are on me. And for an 8 or 9-year-old to do that for the first time and actually be aware of their surroundings, it's a scary thing. It's a lot of adults looking in on you, a lot of your peers, so you can imagine the immense pressure that a young man will feel when you get in the competitive situation, the competitive nature of sports. Take away those fears, get them on a field and see how the reaction is different when they're just playing and having fun. So if you've had this problem yourself, that's my answer for you. Take away the exterior forces that are pressure that's being put on the young athletes and let them go out and play. Sit back if you want to try to hide and watch and see how the difference in reaction is from what they're seeing in a game, and then that's something you can talk about with your son or daughter at the end of the day. Until next time, this is Justin Stone with EliteBaseball.tv, and we'll see you on the field.